On Friday, we marked the 10-year anniversary of the Brookwood Mine explosion that claimed the life of 13 men. This week, we looked back and remembered that disaster and visited the small town of Brookwood to see how they were coping 10 years later. And on Friday, a memorial for the fallen miners. Here's a look back at the events from this week as we remembered September 23rd, 2001.
The community's grown a lot since the explosion, and there's the few survivors that are around. They're still in Brookwood, the majority of them, and we've coped with it pretty good.
There's always that sense of remembrance. Nobody here ever forgets. Everywhere you go around here, you know, when it gets closer to the anniversary, there's markers out. People come together and they're ready for, you know, coming together and remembering everyone.
From a parkway dedicated to the memory of the fallen Brookwood miners to a small reminder for anyone who drives into the Brookwood city limits, the goal is for no one in the small town of Brookwood to forget the 13 miners who made the ultimate sacrifice.
I'm proud to know the people that went back in to save their brothers. I hate that we lost them because there were some very good people in there that we lost.
10 years later, safety precautions have changed. According to Thomas Wilson with United Mine Workers, there are now more inspectors as well as more ventilation and rock dust in the mines.
The cleanup of combustible materials and the quantity of rock dust definitely would have reduced the likelihood of the Brookwood disaster.
As friends and family of the fallen miners traveled back to West Alabama for Friday's memorial, they remembered, along with hundreds of others, the lives cut short on that fall day in 2001.
For every bell that goes off, that represents one of the 13 miners. And as the bell rings, you know, from one side to the other, we'll turn our cap light out and bow our heads. And that represents your life light going out and the end of your life.
You know, you just, at a loss for words or anything when something like that happens. You know, he had a little boy that's 10 weeks old and a little girl 5 years old when he lost his life.
There is a permanent memorial in place that you can visit at the Brookwood Church on Lock 17 Road. There you can see a list of all the 13 miners that lost their lives 10 years ago.